What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Now today I'm going to show you how I make my version of a Christmas cake, black cake, fruit cake, whatever you want to call it. Let's get started. Here I have my soaked fruits. I will leave a link on how I make this down in the description box, or I'll link it in the cards above. Over here I have my flour, I have some red label wine, and I have my eggs, sugar, some lemon juice, lemon zest, and we have some browning. And for my spices, I have cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice, baking powder and salt, and I have some vanilla, and of course my softened butter. Now this fruit has been soaking for about a year now, because this was the one that I made for my fruit cake last year, but I'll leave a link on how I do this, and I have a video on how to prepare this, so you could go ahead and check it out. So here I am just pureeing the fruits with my immersion blender. Now if you don't have an immersion blender, you could go ahead and place this in your blender or food processor, whatever you have that will be able to puree this, and we're going to puree until you achieve the consistency that you want. I like mine semi-smooth, not too smooth and not too chunky. This is the consistency I like mine. Now we're going to go ahead and start making our cake. So in a bowl, I'm going to go in with some softened butter and some sugar, and I'm going to cream this until it's nice and fluffy. I will leave the full measurement to this down in the description box, so you could go ahead and check it out. And I'll also leave a tip for you to follow down in the description box as well. So stay tuned for that. Now you want to go ahead and scrape down the sides of the bowl, mixing evenly. If you have a stand mixer and you want to use it, you could go ahead. I was just making a small cake, so I just decided to use my hand mixer, but feel free to use a stand mixer if you have it. Now that my butter is nice and fluffy, you want to make sure that the butter is nice and fluffy before adding anything else. Now we're going to go ahead and add our eggs one at a time, beating them. You don't really want to overbeat, but you just don't want to dump it all at once. You want to add it in small amounts. Now I'm going to add my lemon juice. This is just half of a lemon juice and the entire zest of that lemon. And I'm going to go ahead and whisk it in and continue adding my eggs until all my eggs are fully incorporated. You want to scrape down the sides of the bowl again to make sure that the butter and the sugar and the egg is nicely beaten together. Now that the eggs are well combined, I'm just going to go in with my pureed fruits. Now you add your fruits according to the texture of the cake you like. So the measurement that I will be leaving down below is for this particular texture and recipe that I'm making. I went in with some vanilla. I'm just going to go ahead and mix the fruit in. I'm going to set this aside and whisk my spices, my baking powder and my salt into my flour. So I'm just going to use a whisk just to incorporate the spices and the leavening agent throughout the cake for a more even distribution in the batter. Now we're going to go ahead and add the flour mixture in parts. Now you don't really want to over mix here. That's why I'm going to use a spatula to fold the flour in versus the the mixer. We don't want to beat the cake because we don't want the gluten in the flour to develop. It's going to be a dense cake because of the fruits, so you don't want to beat too much and you don't want to mix too much. You just want to fold it in and just make sure that all the flour is fully incorporated. Now I'm going to go in with some red label wine. If you want your cake to be a lighter cake, you don't want to add water, you want to add your wine to lighten up your texture a bit. But this amount of wine that I added is recommended for this cake recipe. Now for my browning, I personally do not like a dark cake. I like my cake just in between. So here I have my browning and I'll add it. I will list the measurement down below, but I'll add the browning according to the color of the cake that I'm looking for. So you don't want to go ahead and just dump the browning in. You want to add it because once the cake is baked, the color is going to get darker than what it actually is while the batter is wet. So you don't really want to add too much browning at once, or else you're going to end up with a bitter and disgusting tasting cake. So add your browning in small amount. So here I have a pan. I'm just going to go ahead and grease with some baking spray, baking butter, and I'm just going to dust it with some flour for extra security. You could go ahead and line it with some parchment paper, but I feel like doing this step and it works. So I'm just going to go ahead and dust my pan lightly. Remove the excess flour. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my batter to my pan. Just want to shake it around and make sure that it is nice and level in the pan. And we're going to bake this for about 1.5 hours in a 250-degree oven because we want to bake this low and slow. So here I'm going to place some water on the lower rack, and I'm going to place the cake on the top rack, and we're going to close it and bake this low and slow for about 1.5 hours. You don't want to rush this process, or the high heat will make bigger cracks in your cake. Now my cake is out of the oven. While it's still hot, I'm going to go ahead and spray on some more rum and wine, hence the word wine cake, fruit cake, rum cake. So you want to do it while it's still hot so it can absorb in the cake and allow for a softer and moist cake. Now after the cake is cooled completely, this is what my cake is looking like, and it is smelling amazing. And let me tell you, this one was a hit, and this is perfect for your holiday table, friends and family, and you will love this recipe. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead, hit that subscription button, give me a like, leave me a comment, and I'll definitely appreciate it. Now here's what my cake is looking like. It is super soft and moist and flavorful. This one was really good. That's it, my beautiful people. I thank you so much for watching. Until then, I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.